What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Beamer barn. I have a confession to make, and that is that my M5 wheels are fake. So unfortunately, that's something that I learned recently about my wheels that I got when I originally purchased an E39 M5 parts car. Now the wheels that I got with it, I thought that they were original. I never really thought much of it. And recently I brought them to my friend to get powder coated, and that kind of starts this story about this set of wheels here. Now the last time that you saw these wheels was in my video where we finished making the exhaust for the M5 wagon, and then we did some celebratory smoke displays. And that way we had, you know, that old rubber we were going to burn off it. The tires on those rims were like years old, like 5-10 years old, something like that. Ridiculous. So we burned those off. I got fresh rubber to install in them, but of course, because I wanted to refinish them, I figured this would be the perfect opportunity. So as far as I could tell, it looked like the rims were original rims. They had like a layer of black paint on the outside of them, and then silver underneath that was like really shiny, and I didn't really think much of it. But I just figured that it was like the shadow chrome just deteriorating and flaking off. So I brought them to my friend to get powder coated, and that's when he discovered what appeared to be chrome underneath the rims. So we took a look at them together, and he said that he could try to powder coat them, but he wasn't sure that it would get a really good finish because of how the powder coating would stick to a chrome surface and all that jazz. So let me show you what the rims look like right now. Well, here they are. Definitely look a little different than the last time you saw them. They've got a layer of powder coating on here. You can see that it came out not too bad, honestly. This is a spot that I did myself, so this is from sanding right here. But I'll show you why we had to do some sanding, and that's because in the pits here, so like in the areas that are really hard to reach, I guess, we were starting to get like some really bad fish eyes. So this is actually a wheel that didn't have very bad fish eyes at all, but the rest of them did not get as lucky as this one, and let me show you. So here's a wheel that had a lot of pitting, and I tried to sand some of it out, but you can still just see it all in the corners there, those little pits or fish eyes. Same thing in between the small spokes here. The problem is that it would just be so hard to reach these and sand these all out by hand, which is why I didn't. But you can see some more spots right here. And over here, what was actually a flake of chrome was poking out, and so it was coming out of the powder completely. So I sanded that down by hand, but it took me a good minute to go through that. It was like hard as metal. And over here, I went all the way down as deep as I could because there was a really deep pit, and I thought that I could get it just by going down and down, but I still haven't. And you can basically see the powder coat, and then this is the chrome, and then the chrome's bonding agent, so that what gets it to stick to the metal is like this copper. Guys, chrome is like some crazy so I'm not even gonna try to describe it to you, but you can look it up. It's crazy how they get chrome to stick to metal. And then that's the original alloy of the rim right there, the whitest spot in the center there. So there was definitely like some sort of chip or something into the alloy that went kind of deep. I mean, you know, you could probably keep sanding it out, but the problem is all the chrome that's on top of the rim and this copper bonding agent that you'd have to get through in order to get down to the alloy and get a really good surface to powder coat. So I think that's why they weren't able to successfully powder coat these, is because of just how intense the chrome is. So you probably have to sit there for plenty of hours with like a bead blaster, or use something crazy industrial or something, because it's just a different process entirely. So the other thing about these rims is not only were they chrome coated, but these aren't even the original rims. So maybe it makes sense why you wouldn't chrome coat original rims, because it would ruin them basically. But looking at the back of these, they don't have any BMW markings. And then I believe that this is supposed to be a little more raised, even though this is like the front wheel. The rear wheels have like a raised hump on them where the valve stem goes, but the front wheels don't, and I think that they're supposed to. So, you know, there's a lot of discrepancies with these wheels. They're clearly replicas, but at least they're the right sizing. They're wide. They fit the tires. They don't look half bad. My friend who powder coated them, he did a black underneath the barrels. So you can see it's all black powder coated back here. There's just like this face that has the gunmetal on. So we're probably going to keep it the same way. We're going to be refinishing these wheels with some peel coat. I got it at the Advanced Auto for a really good deal. They have a like save $5 off when you buy 2 cans going right now. So let me show you guys that, and then hopefully we'll get these wheels to look half decent on a budget. I got all of this stuff for under 15 bucks. Well, doesn't count really for the masking tape because I had that beforehand. But here's the receipt from Advanced Auto, and the cans are like 10 bucks a piece, but they have like a deal right now where you get $5 off every 2 cans that you buy. So 2 cans, $15, good deal. And this is peel coat. It says that it's a matte silver finish, and then they actually offer like a follow-up product that is a clear coat, which makes it a clear finish. But I think this is gonna kind of make these wheels tone down a little bit in terms of the finish, but look a little more OEM, and hopefully people don't look too closely at them. So we're gonna use the masking tape right behind the spokes so that the barrel of the wheel stays the same color, and we're just gonna do the faces. So 2 cans should be plenty. Let's go ahead and mask up the wheels outside, and then we'll start spraying. And obviously we'll clean everything off with like a clean rag too. So I'm excited to see what kind of finish we get out of these, and for 15 bucks, it's definitely worth trying. Well, there's some peeling off right here, and I'm gonna have to go grab my knife and cut this off. But anyways, I think it's worth noting that I did not get charged for this powder coating job, so this was completely experimental for me and my friend. So rather than invest a ton more time and money into these, I'm just gonna throw a coat of whatever on here to make them look half decent. And maybe you guys can let me know if you think that should we either get these professionally refinished and get them like industrially, remove the chrome or whatever, and put some money into these, you know, being that they're fake rims, or do you think that we should just roll on them now and maybe down the road get a different set of wheels, original set of these, or just, you know, roll on them as is, because they look pretty good. Let me know what you guys think. Well, here we are with all the wheels masked up finally, and apologize for the AC noise in the background, but you can see that we did a couple of layers on the top here, enough to get a clean edge with the rim, but when we peel this off, if we have a little bit excess on the outside here, it shouldn't be any issue for a little bit of rubbing alcohol or something to get that off of the tire. And then we also have the barrels as well taped off, so we get a nice sharp line. We're only going to be painting the front face of these, and the barrel is going to remain black. So I'm going to go ahead and grab our rag, make sure that these things are nice and clean one last time, and then we'll start spraying. So here we are after about 3 coats. The first coat was really light on all the wheels, just like a speckle to get some adhesion going. The second coat was a little more broader, and the third coat was in the tight spaces because I really wanted to make sure that like between the spokes and stuff we had significant color. The way that this stuff sprays, it's kind of like lighter than like a Plasti Dip or like a normal spray paint. It kind of comes out like in little flakes that float over the surface, and then those flakes build up and create this awesome color here. So it's like really sparkly, really metallic, looks like a metal alloy, and the matte finish is really nice actually. It's not like a real matte that you would think, but it's got some good satin to it, and really reflective in the light. Kind of looks like the OEM wheels, I would say, like an OEM finish. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring these things inside and we'll pull the tape off, and then we'll get to install them on my wagon. All right, there we go. We have them all unwrapped now. The masking tape on the front sides came off easy. Used a microfiber to get some of that overspray on the rubber. And then on the inside as well, took off the masking tape and then used the microfiber to clean off the overspray there as well. So looks really clean. Have this kind of like two-tone look from the inside. From the outside, you can't tell as easily. But there's, you know, it's more subtle. I would say that the whole barrel isn't silver like the front face of the wheel. So I'm excited to see how these look. Let's go ahead and pull my M5 wagon in the garage, and then we'll mount these wheels. And I can't wait to show you guys like a before and after and some really cool shots with these mounted. Well, here she is in all her beauty, and I have the bags set lower than I did before with the 17s, and it's just because the 18s plus these tall tires in the rear kind of lift up the whole car, so have to decrease the pressure in the bags to get it a little bit lower, but that's why I installed the bags. And the other thing that I'm noticing is that the gap here, well, there really is no gap between the tire and the fender here, so might need to roll these fenders because the aggressive fitment might cause some rubbing, but we will see. And the last thing that I want to do is get this thing fully aired out and see what it looks like, so let's go ahead and do that now. Well, the front definitely fits and tucks in there pretty well, but it looks like the rears are a little bit too aggressive, and the tire is literally, I think, maybe sitting on the fender. It's hard to tell. It does tuck right here, but right here is where we're having an issue. So we can fix this with a little bit of camber, and also rolling the fender out right here, and definitely get these things to fit properly. Or if you guys know if I'm maybe doing something wrong here, maybe it's a tire size. I'm running a 275/40 18. Maybe I need to go down in the height, so like to a 235, or maybe I need to go down to like a 265 in the rear, but I'm pretty sure that you're supposed to run 275s on the rear M5 wheels, and these are replicas of the rear, so they should fit the same. But yeah, I think I'm really happy with the overall look of these wheels, that's for sure. Well, one thing's for sure, this car is definitely rubbing in the back here. So I don't know how you guys are fitting E39 M5 wheels on your wagons. Let me know down in the comments below. Am I on the wrong size tire here, or do I just need to camber the rear end to get it to fit? Because my car is pretty low. You know, I like to run it low with the air suspension, but if you were on stock height, I'm sure that you wouldn't have the issue that I'm having. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching me refinish these wheels. I'm really happy with how the finish came out, considering that we just spent, you know, $15. And this peel coat stuff isn't that bad. It's a little bit similar to Plasti Dip, although I will say this particular can sprays out really like flaky and like airy. So if I was going to do this procedure again, I would definitely paint these wheels like indoors, like in my garage with some ventilated air or like a fan or something, because trying to paint them outside, there was just too much wind here in Florida and it was just blowing the flake everywhere, and I think that's probably why I got a little bit of inconsistencies in the coverage. But otherwise, I'm really happy. They really pop. They pop more than the silver finish on the OEM wheels, that's for sure. And overall, I'm happy with the color. I think if I was going to refinish these wheels or get like a set of M5 rims, I would definitely want them like a light silver like this, because I think it really pops with the dark blue of the car. And then having like the Euro trim and the chrome trim around the windows kind of brings it all together. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know with a like or a comment down below. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. We have a lot more videos coming up with this car, some cool retrofits with parts that I got from the junkyard for a great price. And so as always, we will see you in the next video.